Hello guys, girls, ladies, gent, boys and girls. As you can tell, it's another cold day today. Imagine having a family member as your granddad, or your uncle, your mum and dad, your brothers and sisters. Imagine them saying to you, you're putting words into my mouth. Imagine you just wanting to have a normal conversation and they just decide to just change things, twist things around, and then put the phone down on you because they don't want to listen to you. They don't want to know what you're saying. They don't want anything to do with you. And then they say to you, basically, I would have called you back on that day, on a Thursday, if you didn't have bombarded me or messaged me all them text messages. For one, no, you wouldn't have rung me back. For two, you wasn't intending to ring me back. For three, you didn't want to have anything to do with me on that day. Do you know why? When you said to me on that day that I was putting words into your mouth and all I was doing was having a proper conversation with you, but you didn't want to know because you couldn't handle the conversation. You decided to end the phone call and then ignore me for the rest of the day and then ignore me for the other day. This is what you did. So, not me. And then when you call that person back and ask them and question them what they did the next day, they make out that like nothing's happened. Do you know what I'd tell you that is? Narcissism. Yeah, some people are just narcissists. Some people are just stupid to believe their own lies. Some people just don't care or give a damn about everybody else. I don't know if you guys are girls, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, have the same thing with your family, have done this to you. And then you try and explain them and put the rules down, and they think you're stupid and they don't know what you're talking about. You say to them, you did this, you did that, you know what you did. You just chose to be awkward and horrible and nasty to me on that day. Just because I was being nice and friendly with you, you couldn't handle the conversation, could you? Do you see what I'm trying to say? And they ignore you for like 2 days. You send them loads of messages and call them. So they're just basically blanking you and putting you to one side. Which I know what my granddad's doing. I know what game he's trying to play with me. A mind game. Which, that's a very sickening game that some people do. I'm well aware of it. Of his silly games and tactics he's playing. What he does, he basically says or goes places to see his friends on holiday, and then helps them and does jobs for them. But when he wants to do things with me, other times he says he's got he's old. Fair enough. Other times he says he runs out of energy. Well, it's kind of funny that because you never run out of energy when you go and see your friends, do you? And help them. So he'd rather help his friends more than help me. And some people say, well, when you're older, you've got to help yourself. Do you ever live with family like that? That seem to just want to play mind games with you. You try and be nice and friendly to them, and they push you to one side. You ask them how their day is, and they still act horrible and nasty with you, just because they can and they find it funny and hilarious. But the thing is, if the tables were turned, which it never does half the time, guys, girls, boys, girls, to them, then they'd understand. Some of them don't get a taste of their own medicine, and they wonder why they get bombarded with messages and text messages. It's because they believe their own lies, and when people try to correct them like me, they don't see it the same way. They think, well, you're in the wrong. Well, not really. The thing is, all I was doing when I spoke to you on the phone and was speaking to you on the phone is being myself. That's all I can be. But you wanted to say you put the phone down on me because I was in your brain probably talking rubbish, don't know what I'm talking about, confused all the time. This is what you say to me, and emotionally back, you don't have to say anything. And repeating myself, putting words into your mouth, which I was giving you good ideas, which you give to me. You say you do. But it's okay for you to say things to me. But when I say things to you, don't want to know. You're not interested because it's not that cool or interesting enough, is it too boring for you to listen? That's why you do that. These sort of people do that because they want to get a rise out of people. I know what your game is, Grandad. I'm not stupid. So keep playing your game, what I say. And yeah, that's all I can say, really. I'm just sitting here, enjoying what I can enjoy. He may fall out of me again over something stupid. This is what happens with family. They don't seem to understand or realise things, so they just want to fall out with you over nothing because they can't understand their own world and their own destiny. And they want to say, oh, don't put that onto YouTube. Don't put this onto YouTube. Oh, it might jeopardise you. It might jeopardise your house or your place. Not really. It's not my problem. You're just scared and a wimp and you don't want to put things onto YouTube, because you are. These type of people in your family are too afraid to face people, too afraid to face their own problems and their own destiny. That's what they do. They want you to be just as scared as they do. You're not as brave as I am. You never will be. That's why they always run away to different places. They don't want to face you head on. Then why cause a problem and make a problem when there shouldn't be a problem? You chose to say I was putting words into your mouth. Imagine keep saying that to people in the conversation and you wonder why people don't speak to you. Imagine that. Mad, isn't it? Crazy, isn't it? Imagine that, eh? Imagine that your own son doesn't want to talk to your own granddad. Imagine that your own son don't want to even speak to your own granddad or your own dad. Imagine that. Do you know why? Because you keep playing mind games and silly things with people. That's why your own son doesn't want to talk to you. Because you don't listen to him. You keep upsetting him. And your other son, you're nice to him. Funny that, isn't it? And then the trend goes on in the family. Then you want to upset your grandson and do the same that you did to then. Then you want to go and upset your own wife, is what you do then. You're the one who's causing these problems with people, nobody else. And I'm sure a lot of guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are going through the same thing that other people are going through and understanding what they're going through. You're causing the problem. You ask me why, he'll say to me, I wonder why my dad doesn't talk to me. Well, let me think about that then. If you're actually more nicer and respectful, Grandad, then they'd speak to you. But you don't want to be. You want to be playing mind games like a narcissist. Is what you do. You don't care about anybody else's feelings. And you wonder why people don't care about you. So, I live in the real world, you don't. I say what I like, you don't like it, don't watch, don't listen. I always give you the time of my day. Always. Listen to you. That's what a lot of you boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, would say to your mum and granddads if they're being horrible to you. But they don't seem to understand. They don't get it. They just want to have a go at you. They want to have an argument with you. I'm not saying no one's perfect, none of us are. But we try and understand one another, is what we do as human beings. But other people want to take the piss and irritate people. They only seem to want to target you and nobody else. Because they can. Because they find it funny. There's some sick people out there in the world that don't care about anyone except themselves, cold-hearted people. And then when you challenge these sort of people, they think you're being horrible to them when you're not being horrible. They don't understand you. Or they pretend to act dumb and stupid in front of you just to get you angry and getting reaction out of you. It's right what I'm saying. I couldn't make it any more simpler. And, they keep going around in a circle upsetting you over and over and over again, which they do. So what do you do, guys and girls? Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, do you carry on with what you do? I think the phone's gone a bit off blurry then. Or do you just ignore them and let them play their silly games? Or do you know what game they're playing? Most people do, some people don't. And this is why some families break up because of these sort of people. They just like to upset people over and over again because they get some kind of pleasure out of it. And it's not right at all. I know how you feel, and I understand some people don't know how people feel, and they take the piss. This is why some people turn to drugs and drink, because their friends and their family don't want to know or listen to them. They try and help other people and try to be level-minded. And they don't want to help you with anything. They're treating you like you're stupid. It's what my family do to me. They treat me like I'm stupid. They only want to speak to me when they feel like it. Only when it suits them. They say they're too busy with their lives and their family. Yeah, it's true. But it doesn't take 2 minutes to just speak to your other family and ask how they are. It's like they don't want to talk. You know, you should give people a chance in this world, but not everybody does. I don't know how to. You don't just ignore people in the world that you brought into the world, but some people can do and they can. This is why some people make their own family with their friends, make it a better life than actually going with the real family, because sometimes your friends are better than your family. And they wonder why people distance themselves. There's going to be a lot of people like that in the world. I'm afraid that, well, that people are just going to have to cope with it. It's not an easy task, is it really? They're being ignored and people are taking the mickey out of you and bullying you and harassing you because of their own entertainment, because they want to target innocent people. And if some of your friends and your family say to you, it never happens to us, does it? We don't do anything horrible. We don't put ourselves onto YouTube to get bullied and harassed. That's what they said to me. You don't have to be bullied and harassed to be put onto YouTube. People can bully and harass you down the road or down the street or anywhere. They seem to think they're invincible because they're not on YouTube. They don't put themselves out there because they're scared to. They don't want to make themselves known because they're scared to. Doesn't you think most people feel like that, guys and girls, ladies, boys and girls, unsafe and insecure, but they still do it anyway? Oh, most of us made as targets and people that want to threaten us in the world. Some would say yes, or some would say no. But all he wants to do is just go around upsetting and hurting people. But you answered your own question there. That's the reasons why he won't speak to you. People try to help other people, and they just throw it back in their face. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Would you want to be around somebody that tells you, you're putting words into my mouth? They don't want to listen to your conversation. So why talk to them and speak to them? It's like banging your head against the wall. They don't want to know. But when they speak to their friends about things, they don't act the same way they act with you. What their friends see to you and him is him being himself. But we know that's not true. He changes and acts differently around other people. So everybody else thinks you're the crazy one, when you're not the crazy one, basically. You're just trying to get through life and enjoy things. They make you out to be the crazy one so they can lock you up and section you and put you in the hospital. This is what sometimes your family do. They can't cope with you, so they make you crazy, feed you tablets, tell the hospital that you're mentally unstable, and they seem to believe them. And all your friends and family want is a bit of love, respect, feeling safe. But you can't seem to give it them when they're older, because they're not young anymore. It doesn't make any difference. We all deserve people to be around us that love us and take care of us. But why do you gives you the right to upset somebody or play mind games just because you're not getting anywhere? I know what game you're playing. I'm going to put it onto YouTube to show other people what game you're playing, if they've had the same experience and they're fed up as well. And all you could have done is just been a bit honest with me. Yeah, you could have at least told me you were playing mind games, or you didn't understand me, or that's what you could have said to me. But you didn't even do any of that. You wanted to just say, "I put the phone down on you," because I was probably repeating myself, or you didn't like what I was saying. That's why you put the phone down. You didn't answer texts or calls because you didn't want to know. Manipulation and controlling people is what you were doing. You wasn't getting anywhere. That's why you put the phone down. That's why you ran away from me. And all I was trying to do to you, I wasn't being horrible, nasty, or disrespectful. I was trying to have a conversation with you back about my YouTube channel. But you chose to take it the wrong way and say things out of proportion. That's a you problem, not a me problem. And you wonder why I got annoyed and angry as well with my text messages and calls. You caused the problem, not me. But you may look at it a different way. No one deserves to be kept in the dark and ignored, but people do that to people. And they wonder why they're not well today, they're messed up in the head. Nobody wants anything to do with them, and then they get confused and angry. You're playing a game which you're not going to win. So I just lead you into a dead end, and you won't win this silly game. It's not right to play with someone's emotions, is what you're doing. But you don't probably care or realise what you're doing, or you know what you're doing, but you want to see how far you're going to get caught. But one of these days you'll realise it one day. You do not play games with people that are clever or smart. You may have been around a lot longer than me, fair enough. I could just play games as much as you can. I can ignore you as much as I can. So, it doesn't bother me. You'll think you're playing a lesson ignoring me, which you're not playing. You're just playing into your own hands, in my opinion. And I spoke to you today, and all you said to me today on the phone, I ignored all your text messages because you sent me 38 text messages. No, you chose to ignore me. You chose not to speak to me off your own back because you didn't know what to say. That's what you always say. And you wonder why I get angry when you say I'm putting words into my mouth. This is what you were saying, I was putting words into your mouth. How can I put words into your mouth? By any chance? You could put food and water into your mouth. But how can I literally put words into your mouth? Am I going to put words into your mouth on the alphabet? Can't answer that, can you? And there's your reasons why and your answers why your own son won't even speak to you because of your attitude. And you don't understand it till today. The only person that's talking to you is me. My sister, a boyfriend. My uncle talks to you. So there's the real reasons why. And you'll probably never understand why. It's like you want to push people away from you. I don't understand why. You're thinking you're clever. Lots of us are clever in our own way. But we don't go around harassing people, upsetting people. Smart people always finish last, not first. I'm sorry, what I meant by that was, smart people always finish first, not last. That's what I was meant to say anyway. So I got a bit confused now. I was thinking about something else at the time. But the thing is, you're just leading yourself into a bigger hole. I don't think you understand or realise what game you're really playing with me. And you'll never understand or realise what game you're playing until it's too late. I give you a chance all the time. Do you give me a chance all the time? You say you listen to me on the phone every day, which I think you pretend to listen to me because you don't know what to say. I ask you, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm saying? But you can't give me an answer, can you? This is what you do all the time to me. It's like you don't want to know. But why should other people give you time for their time and talk to you and listen to you when you can't give them their time? You don't want to know about your family? Your friends are more important than your family. Your friends support you and look after you and talk to you. Do your family look after you and support you and talk to you? They're doing some kind of way. Different relationships in the friends and family, isn't there? But all you want to seem to do, or what you do, see the screen's gone blue now, the whole room's gone blue. As you can tell there, it's nearly 1 in the afternoon. You just want to upset people. And you wonder why people get arsey and mad with you. You'll never understand the real reasons and answers why, will you? So, you'll do it again. You can't help yourself. You'll just do it over and over again and over again. There's so much, only some people will take it to just say enough is enough. Because you can't keep doing that to people. But you probably will. You don't just do it to me. You do it to Grandma. You do it to my dad. You do it to Fez. You do it to everybody else. Playing mind games is what you do. The only person you don't do it to is my uncle. But saying that, my uncle doesn't really want to listen to me or really want to know things to help me, to help everybody else around me. He does the odd jobs and helps me with things, and other times he ignores me because he's busy at work. He doesn't want to know because of his own family. And miscommunication, as he always says, miscommunication. How is it miscommunication? You just don't want to know. 2 peas in a pod, eh? 2 for the price of 1. Don't want to know, do they? Only when they need me, they want to know me. Basically. Pretty sad that, isn't it, really? When you try and put yourself up there for other people, and they only want to know you or see you when they can or when they want. My arm was a bit sore, so I had to move my arm around on the bed. Obviously, look, this is my hand. I've been holding the phone for like 23 minutes on the left side. So now I'm holding the phone on the right hand side, as you can see. There you go. So, yeah. There's going to be people like that up there that get very upset with these sort of people and they turn their back on them. You're just making the hole bigger. So there's only so much I'll take. The more you push somebody away, the more they go away. They're not going to come back the next day and forgive you. Some people may do, some people may not. But you're making it a problem for me. And you know you are. You know what you're doing. You're just finding it funny. You've probably upsetted other people before. You know what I mean? Those type of people making it funny. But this is what they do. They upset one person, move on to the next person, see how far they get, and then they do it to the next person. Sometimes they get far, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the other people win. You know, so they pretend to feel happy and sorry for you and take your sympathy and then drain you. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but there's people that do that. But like I say, tell me what you think about the video. Am I right, am I wrong? There could be. But like I say, I better go. Thanks for all joining me. And I will see you in the next video. take it easy, peace, and I think of more things to say and come back again. See you later, peace.